The first question is this even allowed? Not that it fucking matters. First of all, palate cleanser, it's Slobber Clock. What's the meme here? It's just Ethan shit, isn't it? Well, Ethan made that apology on TikTok for his insensitive comments, and Hasan's not buying it. Is that the beef? Is that what we're dealing with today?
Ethan Klein apology tour? What does that mean? Are you guys talking about the one TikTok that he posted being like, hey, that one time I actually said I love Israel and I'm going to go there and it's multifaceted. That was actually my mistake. I'm so
Yeah, he said that he basically said he was going to go to Israel and he really was excited to show people how diverse and multicultural and beautiful the country is. And he's like, now he's saying I shouldn't have said something so flippant during a genocide. That's it.
Sorry about that, but that's it. Nothing else, okay? Nothing before and nothing after. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a sign of the times. It's a sign of the times that even someone who is as viciously a defender of Israel and an attacker of Israel's biggest critics is recognizing that he feels the need to do some propaganda to kind of take back some of the things that he's done.
Unlike us over here where we just keep on chugging. Yeah, we just say a wrong thing, get called out, and just say something else wrong so they can cover that as well. Endless cycle.
Yeah, that's cool though. Hasan, look at these rats jumping ship.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, all right.
He said this about me as well. He was suggesting that I was jumping ship on the whatever pro-Israel thing that I'm apparently on because it's becoming unpopular, but I don't recall ever changing anything. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why he was saying that.
All right. Banger episode of the Fear and Podcast. Oh yeah, that's right. The Fear and Podcast came out. Loved Israel so much he lost one of his coolest friends and blew up a successful podcast. Don't even get me started.
That's funny. Ethan, response with iDubbbz in the corner, looking sad.
That I can't let it go with the song. I've honestly barely talked about him ever since the Charlie Kirk thing happened.
You can talk about him as much as you want.
He said it because of the aid organization shit. Oh, of course. I should know that because that's what Bana Panada said and he copy-pasted it. Yeah, because I said the GHF was a bad idea. And apparently that was me 180ing on all my positions on the GHF, even though I made those comments on the GHF before they even went into fucking practice. Like, it's so dumb. Bruh. Silly.
No, I know, but I'm just saying I've kind of made the conscious decision to lay off a little bit because things got so fucking heated.
Yeah. It's just like
if you go to
talk about everything.
If you go to his TikTok reshares,
oh god,
hundreds of the most insane Ethan psychotic conspiracy hate videos, non-stop. I would be fucking humiliated to have that be on my reshares. To be like, I would actually be afraid of looking like obsessed. But this man, he talks about me on a daily basis. He says I'm trying to get him killed. He's doing all this types of shit. He's on Twitter. He's sharing shit on TikTok. This whole narrative of me being some one-sided obsession is crazy.
Meanwhile, he's the one bringing me up as a valid military target.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I don't want anyone.
I'm looking at DMs. Shut up. There's a schedule. Fuck you.
Harm Hasan or anybody in his life or anybody.
He brought me up in that conversation for no reason. I wasn't even related to the topic.
Yeah. It's fucking sick.
But then what? If I respond, then I'm obsessed? No, of course I'm going to talk about it.
Well, I haven't even been responding. That's the crazy part. I've just been kind of letting it all slide for now.
I haven't seen much of the H3 podcast. I don't know what they've been talking about lately. Couldn't tell you. What is this? Trouble in Paradise. Bana Panada's newest tirade is genuinely disgusting. Retweet. The philo-Semitic, that's a good phrase. It's a good start. Right recognizes the Jewish community's alignment with fascism and appreciates them for it. The philo-Semitic left pretends that the Jewish community's alignment with fascism doesn't exist. I can't wait for the philo-Semitic. Dude, stop saying it. What the fuck? Oh, this is Zohran doing a Jewish celebration. Okay. I can't wait for the philo-Semitic world to crumble so we don't have to hear patronizing bullshit from this from liberal Zionists anymore. What, liberal Zionists like Zohran Mandani? Okay. Did you guys know? That Bad Empanada is a anti-Semite. Did you know that? That's crazy, chat. It's crazy. Unbelievable. I never saw it coming. RIP. Israel represents almost all Jewish people, which is why 80% of them support it. Eee. What the fuck is this? No, Judaism made the IDF evil. Religion has not caused a single war in history. Base superstructure. God, imagine being this fucking dense, man. Oh, God. Does Zohran support two-state? Based on the way I've heard him talk about it, he sounds like he wants a one-state. He sounds like a one democratic state with equal rights for both groups. The problem is that these guys don't want that. These guys want the Algerian solution. What did Algeria do to their colonizers? Well, they actually were colonizers in that case. Well, they kicked them out. They went to France, and the Jews left as well. So yeah, they got rid of the French, and they also got rid of people who they believed were too close to the French, which are the Jews. Yeah, it makes sense. But I mean, I've been saying this for years about these people. They're kind of mental. They're Jew haters. They hate the Jews. Native Jews got expelled as well. Yeah, I know they did, because they were perceived as too much of a fence-sitting demographic during the war. They weren't even. I don't even think Algerian Jews were given citizenship to begin with. I think Algerian citizenship at the beginning of the independence was only for Muslims. So where were they going to go, the Jews? What is this?
Hitler is believed to be dead. Our reporter Jonathan has more.
That's right. Hitler was the leader of the Nazi Party and called for the annihilation of the Jewish race.
No, I think that's a bit disrespectful, Jonathan. I think we shouldn't be saying nasty things about a man who's just passed away.
Just quoting his own words.
I just think that's callous and mean. Could you not quote nicer words?
Not easily. The man said we...
That'll do. Adolf Hitler is believed to be dead. Our reporter Jonathan has more.
That's right. Hitler...
Nice. Good. Lower the temperature. But they're trying to kill it. Lower the temperature! All right. Nigel Farage on Turkish businesses.
You know the drill. You go in, no customers, cash only, Lamborghini out the back. And it's been going on for years. We know, of course, they're not Turkish anyway. They're Iraqi or Iranian or Kurdish. In fact, there's probably half a dozen crossing the channel right now that'll be in one of the shops next week. It's not just barbershops. You've also got Turkish restaurants.
Excuse me, where's the evidence that... I know what he's talking about. He's talking about... Lamborghini's a bit of a stretch, but yeah, there are these shops that are like... It's like American sweet shops or these kind of things. And they... or like ice cream places, and they got no business, and they just keep chugging. And yeah, this is like a money laundering thing. But where he's saying that these are asylum seekers do this? Asylum seekers do that?
Have you seen some of those out there? Oh, they're mega, they are. You go in there, cash only. There's nothing on the menu. I mean, don't worry about that. And then they put their returns in. So this has been going on an industrial scale.
What is actually going on here?
Oh, it's money laundering. It's money laundering. Of course it is. Yes, it's a way of funneling large amounts of cash through, declaring some of it to the taxman. And that's what the racket is. And of course, the cash, the drugs trade is all cash. Quite why it's taken the National Crime Agency all these years to act, I don't know.
Maybe it's because you are exaggerating the problem, and they do deal with it. I've seen a few of these places like open and close fairly quickly, but dude, you're like a city trader. Don't tell us about fucking taxes. Don't you have didn't he have one of his trusts or whatever in the Isle of Man? Mental. Absolutely mental. Okay. Did you guys know that there is a terrorist threat in the United States? A very big one. Big fat terror threat. And it's coming from, you might have heard of them, Antifa. This is the executive order signed yesterday, September 22nd, 2025. It's 3 sections. Section 1, Antifa is a terrorist threat. Antifa is a militarist, anarchist enterprise that explicitly calls for the overthrow of the United States government, law enforcement authorities, and our system of law. It uses illegal means to organize and execute a campaign of violence and terrorism nationwide to accomplish these goals. This campaign involves coordinated efforts to obstruct enforcement of federal laws through armed standoffs with law enforcement, organized riots, violent assaults on immigration and customs enforcement and other law enforcement officers, and routine doxing of and other threats against political figures and activists. That paragraph needs to be overlaid, Stardust, with footage of January 6th, right? Even the build-up, doxing of political figures, you can have footage of the MAGA guys with guns calling Rusty Bowers a pedophile, and all the QAnon shaman at the state legislature threatening people all the way up to the actual day. That's perfect. That's just January 6th, the entire thing. Antifa recruits, trains, and radicalizes young Americans to engage in this violence and suppression of political activity, then employs elaborate means and mechanisms to shield these identities of its operatives, conceal its funding sources and operations in an effort to frustrate law enforcement, and recruit additional members. Individuals associated with and acting on behalf of Antifa further coordinate with other organizations and entities for the purpose of spreading, fomenting, and advancing political violence and suppressing lawful political speech. This organized effort, designed to achieve policy objectives by coercion and intimidation, is domestic terrorism. Section 2. Because of the aforementioned pattern of political violence designed to suppress lawful political activity and obstruct the rule of law, I hereby designate Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization. All relevant executive departments and agencies shall utilize all applicable authorities to investigate, disrupt, and dismantle any and all illegal operations, especially those involving terrorist actions conducted by Antifa or any person claiming to act on behalf of Antifa, or for which Antifa or any person claiming to act on behalf of Antifa provided material support, including necessary investigatory and prosecutorial actions against those who fund such operations. This order, Section 3, General Provisions. A. This order shall be implemented consistent with applicable law. This order is not intended to and does not create any right or benefit, substantive or procedural, enforceable at law or in equity by any party against the United States, its departments, agencies, or entities, its officers, employees, or agents, or any other person. This order shall be published in the Federal Register. Donald J. Trump, the White House, September 22nd, 2025. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Well, the first question is this even allowed? Not that it fucking matters. I know they can do it for foreigners, but can they do it for locals? My guess is they actually can't, but we'll see. He made the same declaration in 2020, but nothing happened. I didn't know that. Oh, he didn't legislate, though. He didn't do the EO. Is it an organization? No. Okay, yeah, we know that. What did he say? Sick, dangerous, radical left disaster as a major terrorist organization, he wrote. Okay. Yeah, this is what I thought. The US can't actually designate domestic terrorist groups, especially because it's to do with funding. Federal law empowers the executive branch to deem overseas groups foreign terrorist organizations. The law gives such groups a due process right to hearings to challenge the designation. If the designation stands, the status allows the government to freeze such groups' assets and make it a crime to provide material support to them. But there is no equivalent domestic terrorism law, noted Mary McCord, a former acting head of the Justice Department's National Security Division during the tail end of the Obama administration and opening months of the Trump administration, Trump 1. Trump can declare whatever he wants to declare, but there is no legal authority to actually designate a domestic group as a terrorist organization, even assuming that Antifa is an organization and not just an ideology, she said. That means that his declaring this has no legal impact. Certainly, it does not trigger criminal terrorism charges like providing material support to a foreign terrorist organization. Would the Constitution allow this? First Amendment protections for freedom of speech and association would probably bar any attempt by Congress to enact a statute allowing the government to designate domestic terrorist groups as terrorist organizations, domestic groups as organizations, and make it a crime to help them, legal specialists say. In a 2010 case in which the Supreme Court upheld the prosecution of a charity for steering funds to a designated foreign terrorist organization, Chief Justice John G. Roberts Jr. distinguished the matter from sending funds to a domestic organization. Ooh, legal. Domestic. We do not suggest that Congress could extend the same prohibition on material support at issue here to domestic organizations. Good one. Oops. Holder versus Humanitarian Law Project, 2010. We also do not suggest that Congress could extend the same prohibition on material support at issue here to domestic organizations. Wild. Okay, give me that. Boom. Hypothetical attempts to criminalize support for designated terrorist groups under different circumstances might not survive First Amendment scrutiny, he wrote, adding, we also do not suggest, they got the same quote that I did. Nice one. So I guess we picked the important one. What's the other one? First Amendment scrutiny. First Amendment scrutiny. All this is not to say that any future applications of the material support statute to speech or advocacy. Okay. All right. We're getting our post-it notes ready. Silly loner reading the case law as if this administration gives a shit. You never know, we might bump into some MAGA tards who believe it does. There are some who try to pretend it does, right? Because of First Amendment concerns, when the FBI has carried out what are effectively domestic terrorism investigations into neo-Nazi organizations like the Base and Atomwaffen Division, it has treated them as criminal enterprises. Come here. You can't just give up. Truer words have never been said. Autism. Are we even going to get to that today? Dude! FBI treats other terror groups, e.g. neo-Nazis, as criminal enterprises. Yeah, because the idea of designating a terrorist organization means you can't even fund it. So if there's anyone who wants to say, oh yeah, we're anti-fascists, and maybe some people carry an Antifa flag, then the idea would be that you can't even fund them. If you give money to that would be like a terror thing. Like, terrorist organization is a really big fucking deal. It's a pretty big label to have a terrorist organization on you, because like the idea behind terrorist organization is that, say for like Houthis, if I wanted to fund the Houthis, who are a designated terrorist organization, even if I wanted to fund like a Houthi fucking farming project, like Houthi funded, you couldn't do that. You can't do that. That's like highly criminal, high levels of criminal. So it's a pretty serious label. But I guess that's why for domestic orgs, they make it that they have to cross a criminal threshold. Otherwise, you've got First Amendment issues. Makes sense. What's the context of the declaration? Charlie Kirk. Neckhole Charlie. Democrats have warned that Trump appears to be using it as a pretext to suppress. Okay. Federal power. It claims there's a vast left-wing network that funds and incites violence. Among other things, Mr. Trump has also said the Justice Department should conduct a racketeering investigation into George Soros, the billionaire who funds civil society and liberal causes, accusing him without evidence of paying people to riot. Wow. George Soros. They're going after Soros. Oh no. Man, I wish George Soros funded as much as people say he does, because I could have definitely used Soros funding. Progressive Victory is fucking shite. Progressive Victory stabbed us in the back. And now they're all like putting out Substacks saying, listen, we don't actually like Destiny and all the people who he was with. Please, Hasan, take me seriously. Fuck me, man. Despicable. Bondi said to go after you if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, which is also not a legal concept in America, which as a matter of basic First Amendment law would be unconstitutional. Bernard Carr, the Federal Communications Commission chairman, threatened ABC over remarks by the late night host Jimmy Kimmel, and the network took him off the air. PV is doing that. They've kind of thrown all of us under the bus. It wasn't just Destiny. Yeah. Pretty cringe. They actually, because I'm still on their mailing list, I guess, because they sent me an email that had one of the organizers' Substacks up. I'm not sure if that's like I don't think it's a private thing though. I think, yeah, the Substack is public, isn't it? The PV one. Does it have a link to it? Yeah. Yeah, this is public. This is a public Substack. They wrote a whole Substack about, there's me towering over these little fucking munchkins. We'll see. I might read that one day, but it seems like stupid. No one cares about it anymore, right? Everyone cared about dark money and 501c4s for about a week, and now no one gives a fuck, right? Everyone cared about, we're going to finally get to the bottom of who is funding Planned Parenthood and what could they possibly want to achieve from funding such a group? We don't know. Undisclosed. We don't know what their agenda is. Why would you fund Planned Parenthood? Unbelievable. Okay. But yeah, no one cares anymore because it was dumb. Let's see. Trump declared that he would designate Antifa a terrorist organization, greeted with praise by various Republican lawmakers. What happened? Nothing, but Trump is less constrained now. Okay, they haven't gone into him actually signing the EO. Well, in 2020, he wanted to use the military against protesters, but his administration did not follow through after his top aides resisted. But in June, after some protests against his immigration crackdown in LA turned violent, he sent federal troops into the streets of that city to suppress the demonstrations, then continued to use them for police functions for months in a way a judge has ruled illegal. The administration has appealed that ruling. Notably, the second Trump administration has already been pushing the limits of President's terrorism designation powers by declaring various foreign criminal gangs and drug cartels to be foreign terrorist organizations, even though they're motivated by profit, not religion or ideology. Trump already designating foreign criminal gangs and cartels as foreign FTOs, they're called, right? FTOs, even though they are not motivated by religion or ideology. Okay.